everyone, Josh here with WarGamingNewb Historical, back with another hobby vlog. This time I am going to be talking about the Napoleonics that we started on the channel, and specifically progress that I made with the Black Powder Waterloo 2-player starter. So we're going to go heavily into Black Powder, and hopefully in the fall start filming battle reports. Obviously the main impediment to that is just getting the Black Powder set, the Waterloo set, all painted up, because there's quite a few figures in there. However, I just wanted to show you a quick update on the progress on that. Just as a reminder, I will be playing the French, James will be playing the British, so this particular hobby update will be French specific. So anyway, stay tuned. You're going to see the progress on the French army from the Waterloo 2-player starter. Alright, here it is, the first few models that I have worked on for Black Powder, the Waterloo set. This is for my Napoleonic series, obviously. I'm doing as much as I can, as quickly as I can, because I need to work on the British side. So I decided to start off with a stand of the infantry, as well as the foot general that came with the set. So as you can see, I'm not finished quite yet. I'm still working on a little bit of details, and I know that the blue greatcoats that I've painted 3 of these guys in is not historically accurate, but I was testing out contrast paints as a method of trying to blow through these light infantry as quickly as possible. So apologize for that, for any of you who want historical accuracy. Some of my figures will not be as historically accurate because I'm just trying to paint them so that I can put them on the table. But I think it looks pretty good with the blue greatcoats. Obviously the rest of my stands will be more historically accurate. An example of this being this guy here with the gray coat. So yeah, hopefully that doesn't bother you guys too much. This stand is mostly done. I just gotta clean up a bit of the detail, and you know, at that point I can put this one away. So with the general himself, obviously still need to clean up a little bit and, you know, kind of correct this right here. I wiped it out with water a little bit too much, so more of the white is showing. I used Apothecary Gray to kind of shade this, but yeah, so this guy is mostly done. Just a few details to clean up, and obviously need to do the mustache and the hair and the gold trim on his bicorn, and he'll be pretty much close to finish. So yeah, so while I'm doing the Waterloo stuff, I'm also trying to work through a couple of the Perry miniatures that I have. This is one of the mounted metal kernels that I purchased. As you can see, this is not contrast. I'm painting this one a little bit more traditionally, so this one's going to take a little bit longer, but I do love the dynamic pose on this. I am using a Games Workshop oval base for this particular guy, because he will at some point become the overall general of my first brigade for Black Powder, and I wanted him to stand out just a little bit more than some of the other figures that will be in that brigade. So yep, still a work in process. I am, however, painting some of the components of this model with an off-white or white so that I can use contrast, just to kind of speed up my work on it. But for the most part, the rest has been just regular paint. So yep, that is going to be my overall general. Alright, so here are a few light infantry that are still kind of on the sprue. I have found that the Warlord Waterloo French light infantry are fantastic because they're really only about 3 components, and so I assemble them on the sprue and kind of cut around so that I can prime and paint these guys by just kind of holding it up like this. So these down here, the 6 on the bottom, are traditionally painted. I did base them in Army Painter Uniform Gray, or Field Gray? No, Uniform Gray. And you know, obviously was trying to do a more traditional approach to painting. The 2 stands that are in white, I actually started using contrast paint on those, so it's going to be painted just a little bit differently. At the end of this portion of the video, I'm going to show the paints that I'm using for the traditional painting and then the contrast paints. So yep, these 3 stands are in process. It'll give me at least 3 more stands for my battalion. Alright, another example of my assembly on the sprue. These haven't been primed with anything yet. I just wanted to show an example of it. This does make it very easy to paint because you can basically just hold the sprue and paint as you would. So, alright, I'm going to move on to the paints that I'm using. We'll be right back. Alright, for the models that I am painting in contrast, these are the 4 main colors that I'm using. Dark Oath Flesh for the skin tone. I'm using the Black Templar for the boots, as well as the ammunition bags. Ultramarine Blue I was using on the gray coats, and then I realized, wait a minute, they don't have blue-gray coats. But, you know, it looks nice. I'm going to keep them as is. I might paint a couple more just to add a little pop to the battalion line. And then I'm using Blood Angels Red for the pom-pom. So, again, up close. Alright, so next up are 3 more colors that I'm using. I'm using, so Apothecary White, I was going to use for the white portions of the model, such as the pants and the straps and stuff like that, and I realized that most of these are not painted in that cooler color. So I use this a little bit on some of the models, but I'm going to switch that out for something else. Actually, I switched it out for something else, Army Painter Soft Tone for the pants. Let me bring up an example of that. So, as you can see, that's soft tone. So from far away, they're not brown, they don't look brown. They'll look kind of like a dirty white. So that's what I'm switching out Apothecary White for Army Painter Soft Tone. So this will no longer be in that paint set. But here we go. So I'm using Skeleton Horde for the Shako covers. I'm going to bring up an example. So that is what I'm using that for. A little bit darker than that Army Painter Soft Tone, so looks more like, you know, canvas, obviously. And then lastly, I am using Cygor Brown on their packs for some of them. A lot of the packs that are on these models kind of like fur skin, so I use the Cygor Brown for that. And here's an example. We're going to move on to the standard painting paints. So a while ago, I bought this French Infantry Napoleonic Wars paint set from Vallejo. I thought pretty much this would cover all of the painting needs for the line infantry, but I've discovered that the standard way of painting is just going to take me a very long time, hence why I went over to contrast paint for some of the models. However, I do want to use this set. Let me turn this around. So that it varies the colors that I'm using for the models, because otherwise they're all going to look kind of drab and boring, or all the same. And so I wanted to, you know, make it just a little bit different. Here's a list of the colors that are included. So it does cover a wide breadth of stuff. Anything with the gray great coat on these models, we'll be using that London Fog. I've been using the old gold on here for all of the metal, or the gold trim on these models. And yeah, so far that's all I've been using out of this. I use the off-white for some of the pants. So yep, that's what I'm using. This seems to be a pretty decent set. I actually want to get the British set because I do have a British one. You know, once I get to the point that I'm going to paint the British side of the Waterloo box set. So Alright, and there you have it. That is the progress that I've made on the French side of the Waterloo 2-player starter. Again, I'm going to be working as hard as I can to get this painted because, you know, ideally what we want to do later in the fall is to start playing Black Powder, and specifically starting off with the Waterloo 2-player starter set. Play from the box, and then from there we'll expand our forces and maybe even go to different eras of Black Powder and also different nations of the Napoleonic era. So if you like this video, go ahead and click like, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, Click the bell notification icon to get notified of all hobby vlog updates for the Napoleonics and Black Powder project. And go ahead and join our Discord. Our link is in the description below. We'd love to chat with you about Napoleonics, Black Powder, and all that fun stuff. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more hobby vlog from WarGamingNewb Historical.